It's time for United, Manchester United that is, to sack Ruben Amorim. Look, don't get me wrong, I was a big fan of Amorim and I loved that he went to United. Not a United fan, but I thought he could turn them around the way he did with Sporting Lisbon. However, I feel that the club is that much of a mess. It's not all on him, but something needs to be done to course correct what the kind of trajectory they're on currently. Obviously, a lot of United fans will talk about the owners, will talk about the problems there. Look, for me, I don't understand how you can spend 200 million on players, but yet cut costs with like kind of relatively cheap staff. I know they spoke about having loads more staff than what they required, but it's a family club. That was the big thing that Sir Alex Ferguson kind of built the club on, is that they're all about family, they're all about a close knit community, and that's a kind of connection they have with the fans, even the fans around the world that weren't living in Manchester or Salford. That all seems to have been lost within what 12 years since he's retired. I honestly don't know where they go from here. I don't know how they fix the problems that they have. Players don't want to seem to work. Players don't seem to understand what they have to do. Um, that doesn't go for all of them. There's obviously the ones who are trying, but there are noticeable players that couldn't give a monkeys. Or a toss, depending on how you want to say that. There also is the issue of per financial investment when it comes to transfer recruitment. Players they have signed have not worked out, and honestly, you go back and you think, who's the last players to have worked out? You would have argued Bruno Fernandes a while ago, but he seems to be getting worse and worse week upon week. Now, that might be because he's being played out of position. Rightly so, that would be a fair opinion. But you look back and you go, it's been years since they brought in a good player to improve the squad. Um, then obviously there's all there's a lot of issues around the ownership. There's a lot of issues of fans being tired. I don't know where Man United go from here. I really don't. Um, the obvious quick fix is to bring in a new manager, as I mentioned at the start. Who do they bring in? Well, they have three options. They could have gone with Dan Ashworth's choice before Amorim of bringing in Gareth Southgate, just so we can steady the ship, just so we can kind of get United some results and kind of bring harmony within the squad. Same way they did with England, because England obviously became really successful under Southgate and won loads of trophies. Oh, wait, hang on, they didn't. Um, but that's not what United need right now. They don't need someone to win trophies. They need someone to bring harmony and start to rebuild. Um, the other choices are Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace, who would be mad to leave them to join Man United, and Marco Silva. Now, with Marco Silva, do you wait for him to have his contract run out by the end of the season to make a move for him? I reckon United probably should wait. Ruben Amorim, as bad as time has been with him, I don't think he'll get the side relegated. As close as they wanted to come last year. I would love to see Manchester United relegated, but I just don't think that will happen. But look, what do you think? Do you think it's time for managerial change at Man United? Do you think Manchester United fundamentally are, in polite terms, in turmoil? I could use harsher language. How do they fix Manchester United? And where do we go from here with them? Look, I've been Brendan McGilligan. Thank you very much for listening. These have been just some thoughts. I could go in more depth if you wanted. But this is just a little piece that I thought I should bring to the world. Thank you very much for listening.